Hello everyone, welcome to Whiskey Whistle. I'm your host Mark and this is Whiskey Review number 145. This is the Glenlivet 15-year-old, the French Oak Reserve. Now why is it called that? Well, it's called the French Oak Reserve because this single malt Scotch whiskey, which is bottled at 40% ABV, in this little mini bottle, is finished for 3 years, spends its final 3 years in actually French Limousin casks, Limousin. That's the variety of French oak, or the area where the oak is cultivated, and it's spending that final 3 years in virgin Limousin casks. Those are the same types of casks that are used to mature cognac, most cognacs, many cognacs. I think there's 2 varieties. I forget the other variety, but anyway, that's one of them. Now, this is my, which one? How many Glenlivet have I done already? I've done the Nadura, and maybe that's it. I'm not sure. It might be only my second. But anyway, let's get this one poured. Here we are. Yeah, I guess that's enough. Maybe just a tad more. There we go. Yeah, that's roughly half, around about 25 milliliters. Just enough for a review. This is not the first time I've had this this expression from the Glenlivet. About a year ago, I guess, 2 years ago, I went to a great event put on by Pernod Ricard Korea. That's the company that owns the Glenlivet. Beautiful spread, a beautiful dinner, along with a tasting of the 12, 15, 18, 21, and the 25-year-old. In fact, I guess I was just so lucky because now it's pretty hard to attend a tasting here in Korea and even get up to 21. Quite often it's just the 18, 12, 15, 18, and then that's it. Anyway, so we were blessed with that particular event. I won it by contest, and this was long before I had started, not long, months before I had started the Whiskey Whistle channel. So very interesting. So it's 15 years old, 12 years in the traditional Glenlivet style, which would be probably a mix of ex-bourbon and ex-sherry, and then the final 3 in these special French oak casks. So we should probably leave this for 15 minutes in order to get the best possible nosing and tasting out of it. So I'm going to let that sit for a little while, and I'll give it a bit of time, and I'll come back, and then we'll get on with it. Okay, so I'll be right back, and we'll have a very short word from the YouTube sponsors right here. Okay, welcome back. Time has elapsed, roughly about 12 minutes or thereabouts, and we're ready now to try to smell and taste the Glenlivet French Oak Reserve 15-year-old. It's 40%, as I mentioned. There is no information on this little bottle of whether it is chill filtered or whether there has been any E150 caramel, spirit caramel coloring added to it. So you can figure out what that means color-wise, by the way. This is pretty much your standard gold hue. Well, I'm going to use, will I use that? No, that's probably not a good idea. I will use, there we go. There we are. I'm going to use this white coaster so you can get a sense of the color of this whiskey. Pretty much a golden hue. Okay. And Well, I believe this is the current bottling of the Glenlivet 15. The label shape may have changed somewhat, but pretty much the same. And here it says the smooth flowing one. Yeah. All right, anyway, on to the nose. Let's give it a whiff. You can definitely smell the European oak influence here. That French oak is unmistakable. And there is an independent blender that makes a whiskey that I have reviewed that uses some similarly vibrant and active French oak in their blending and re-aging, additional further aging, the process that they put the whiskey through. Anyway, boy, isn't that nice? That is, it's not like cinnamon, it's more like nutmeg. And it has a warmer feeling to it than American oak. More leather. Now, I don't really associate the Glenlivet with leather, but I'm getting some here now, and that must be that wood influence. Leather and, well, again, oak, but imagine luxury antique furniture. Really nice. It is definitely sweet. There is some of the typical nuttiness, almondine like scent that the Glenlivet often has. And being a space cider, there's also a lot of orchard fruits, apple, pear. There's almost a bit of clove also. Almost a bit of a mild licorice even. Now, it really gives the impression that it's even older than 15. So it smells a lot more like an 18, not a 21, but anyway, it smells way beyond its age. Really nice. That's right up my alley. Okay, let's get on to the taste. Cheers, everyone. Despite being 40%, this has more than enough oomph to carry the whiskey. It's not anemic. It might be a powerhouse if this were offered at even 43. And it would probably be a juggernaut at 46. But it holds its own. It holds its own against 46 percenters of a lighter variety at 40%. So that's pretty impressive. Flavor-wise, yes, potent enough. Mouthfeel a little bit thin, as to be expected at 40%. Again, I really can't fault it because the price point is pretty hard to beat, especially for a top 3 brand. Okay, there will be some single malt Scotch whiskies that that can offer more for less money. However, for a top 3 brand and for its global appeal and its balance and also this French cask character. Pretty hard to beat, I would say. I'm supposed to be talking about the taste. I'm still smelling it. It smells so great. Now, flavor-wise, it has a lot of, again, apple and pear. And yet there's also some tropical fruitiness. Some European fruitiness, even some Korean fruitiness. Tangam, the firm persimmons that you can get in Korea in the fall. A little bit of fig, a little bit of quince, fresh quince. That's mogwa in Korean, so some mogwa flavor. Some ripe pineapple also. Delicious. I'm running out of this. Okay, we better add a little bit of water. The finish, fig is carrying on in my mouth, along with that persimmon and that quince. It's spiced along with the clove, a little bit of ginger now. It's a little bit dry. My teeth feel a little bit like there's an absence of water in my mouth, you know, that feeling of the dryness that you get with wines. And the flavor lasts a pretty long time. Let's call it medium to long finish. Okay, onto the nose now with water, and we'll have another short advertisement right here. Welcome back. This is the Glenlivet 15-year-old French Oak Reserve with water. You know, I'm going to add just a little drop of water more. I think I was a little bit on the light side with the water. I don't want to add too much given its ABV, but we want to see how it changes, or if there is any change. And if there is a change, what is it? Still very spicy. A little bit less leather. Oddly, it's got a bit tart, a little bit more tart, a little bit tartar. Tartar? More tart? I think more tart is probably the correct, what's that called again? The, oh gosh, I forgot that word. It's not the superlative, it is a blah, 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 blah. It's gone. So a little bit like a tart apple now. Not a Macintosh, but more like, oh sorry, I should say not a Golden Delicious, more like a Granny Smith, or like an early Macintosh. Almost crab apple. When you smell, you want to smell it both with your mouth closed and then also with your mouth open. You may actually get a little bit of a different or heightened scent. I think amongst all of the experience of this whiskey, the nose is really, really nice, to die for, almost, to die for. Yeah, anyway, onto the palate. Basically just sweet apples now with a little bit of spice. Kind of falls apart a bit with water, and I didn't really add that much. It is sweeter, but I'm getting less of these lovely fruit flavors that I had when it was neat. It's just kind of a generic sweet fruitiness, kind of like juicy fruit gum. And the finish, as always seems to happen, it's a bit drier. Same flavors, same length. Okay, well, that's that then. I think that the original presentation is its ideal form. It would be nice if this were at least 43. That way you get a little bit more oomph, neat, and you'd have a little bit of room to play with a bit of water to really get a nice breadth of flavors and an interesting sort of double event, because that's what we're sort of looking for, right? We want to have something unique, neat, and then we want to have also something unique with water. And if that happens, then you're really happy. I'm really happy when that happens. Anyway, neat's the way to go with this one. Let's get on to the scoring first of all. The WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for the Glenlivet 15-year-old. I think that deserves a solid, oh gosh. Let's go with 86 out of 100. That's the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for the Glenlivet 15-year-old French Oak Reserve. This would probably be close to 90 if it were 43, I'm guessing. Anyway, the nose was very engaging, neat, very interesting mix of typical fruits along with these Asian and also tropical fruits. And finish didn't really change much. Something a little bit different with the nose with water, but I think neat is the way to go with the Glenlivet 15. Okay, so 80, what did I say, 86 out of 100. That's the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for the Glenlivet French Oak Reserve 15-year-old. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to put a link to another Glenlivet review for you. It'll be right here. And something else, if you've already seen that one, here's another one you may want to watch. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. That'll be right around about here. Click on that and you will be subscribed to the channel, okay? And we will see you for the next review. That'll be a double header. It's going to be a versus. That'll be fun. Stay tuned for that one. We'll see you very soon.